I consider myself a perfectionist. And reflecting on the past couple of months, I've realized that part of the reason that I felt the way that I did was because I wasn't okay with failure. It was uncomfortable, it was unacceptable to me as a perfectionist. It hurts a lot when you put so much time, energy, and love into somebody, into something, just to watch it all slip from your fingertips. One of the hardest things for me was accepting failure. I was in the denial phase for such a long time, not accepting that it was over, but that I had failed. I could not accept that I had failed. One of the downsides about being a perfectionist is that I beat up on myself a lot, which can lead to a lot of self-loathing and low self-esteem at some points. So it takes a lot of time and energy and focus to get back to a point where I'm comfortable, to a point where I'm okay being with other people and not feeling like I'm being judged or that I'm not good enough. I left that relationship thinking that nobody liked me, that I was a burden, that I wasn't good enough, that the version of myself that I was comfortable with, that I was secure with, nobody else was. I feel like we all want to be an outcast until we're actually an outcast, and then we're uncomfortable with it. We just want to fit in, we just want to be like everybody else, we just want to be accepted. I think I'm a very charismatic person. That's one of my favorite things about myself, is that I can walk into a room and people can go, wow, and I can be the center of attention, even though sometimes it can be a negative. But a lot of times I feel like I'm just putting out only one part of me. I feel like I'm only putting out the version of me that people want to see. The version that people want to laugh with and have fun with and all this stuff. But no one wants to see the intellectual side of me. No one wants to see the philosophical side of me. Nobody wants to see the Christian. Nobody wants to see the vulnerable side of me. Maybe that's why I'm doing this, is because I feel like maybe somebody will appreciate it. Maybe somebody will connect with the way that I think. Because sometimes I feel like I talk and people just think I'm nuts. The issue with failure and the fact that I refuse to fail sometimes is that sometimes failure is a good thing. Sometimes we learn from failure. Sometimes we become better because of it. Sometimes I try so hard not to fail that I end up in denial. Sometimes I try so hard not to fail that I hold on to relationships longer than I should have. I have a hard time with that, even in work, even with business ideas. I don't want to cut my losses. I think that's part of why I'm scared so much, is because I'm going to get to a point where I need to accept failure and I'm not going to be capable enough of doing it. And because I fear failure, I hold on to relationships longer than I should. And it's difficult because for someone like me, when the fireworks aren't there anymore and when the sparks aren't there anymore, that's when love really starts. That's where the effort comes in. And I feel like so many people just, the easy part, the honeymoon phase is over and people just want to call it quits and restart, and they just want to keep going through that 6-month loop over and over again, and nobody wants to work through the hard parts. I need to learn to be okay with failure. I need to learn to accept it, that it can be a tool, that it's good in some cases. I feel like the only solution is to dive into failure, is to fail until I become numb. It's the concept of walking up and getting rejected a million times, and then at some point you just don't feel rejected anymore, you just move on. And I feel like that's how I need to treat failure. I just need to go and go and go and fail and fail and fail until failing becomes numb to me. And I think going forward, I just need to do and not think so much, because no one's ever done anything perfect, so why should I expect to do everything perfect? Sometimes I feel like perfection is an excuse to procrastinate, or it's a way to entitle my fear and not move forward in something. I'm scared to fail again. I'm scared to fail again where it counts, where it matters. And I don't know when that moment's going to come. I don't know what relationship that is. I don't know what business that is. I don't know what that looks like. But I just got to be ready. And that's kind of the point of this whole channel, is just trying to be ready for whatever it is, I need to be ready for it. Whatever my moment is, whatever my future is, whatever my purpose is, gotta be ready. I hope you're doing good. I'm praying for you. This is Matty Ships, signing off.